Okay, now we will be seeing how to create our own library. Library, we have already discussed that it is nothing but it is a folder which contains certain modules which we can use in our program. And what is a module? A module is basically a Python file with .py extension which contains certain functions, constants and other things which can be used in other programs. Right? So this is my structure of the library. The name of my library will be demo. Under this library, or you can say under this folder demo, I'll be creating another folder sub demo that will be my sub package. Then this demo folder will be having two modules D1 and D2. That means my demo library will have two modules D1 and D2. This sub package, that is sub demo, will have module D3. Now there is a question, why this underscore ini underscore file existing in both the packages, in both the demo library also and sub demo also. See, this is a file that that makes a folder to be recognized as a package. If a folder does not contain this file, that folder will not be recognized as the package. Okay, so this file is necessary. Even if this file is empty, it does not matter, even if it is empty. So underscore ini dot underscore dot py, this file is also having py extension. So this file should be present in all those folders which have to be recognized as a package. So this is my structure of the library. Now let's see how we are going to create it. So first of all, what we are going to do is we are going to create a folder with the name demo in which directory? C directory. I am creating it in C drive. You can create it anywhere, right? So I have created a folder with the name demo. Now what we are going to do, we are going to create all the modules that we will be using. So the next thing, see, here I am creating a module named D1. D1.py, and in this D1 module, what I am doing is I am creating two functions. One is your disp function, that is simply displaying a message, and another is your mul function, that is accepting two parameters and returning the multiplication of product of those two parameters. Then there is also a constant a1 which is assigned a value as 10. So this is my D1 module. In the same way, I am creating another module, that is D2 module. Now in D2 module, I have created two functions. One is your display function and another is your add function. Right? Display function is displaying two messages and add function is again accepting two parameters and returning the sum of those parameters. Then there is a constant B1 with the value 34. Next, we are creating another module, that is D3 module. Right? In this module, I have created two functions. One is your ABC function and another is your div function. ABC is again displaying a message and div is accepting two parameters and returning the floor division. Okay. Now see. Now what I have done, I have created underscore ini underscore dot py file. Now this file is not having any content, right? This is a blank file. I will be copying this file in both demo folder also and in sub demo folder also. So now we have created all the files required, right? We have also created a folder demo. Now the next step, let's see. See, I am showing you, this is my demo folder in C drive, you can see, and under demo we have these contents. Sub demo, sub package is there, then underscore ini underscore, then d1 and d2 modules. Okay, now coming up to the sub demo folder. See, this is my sub demo folder, and under sub demo these are the contents, module d3 and a file underscore ini underscore. So I have created the file and placed them in the requisite folder according to my library structure. Okay, so next step is that on Python shell we are going to write these two commands. The first one is I am going to import a module named sys, and after importing this module I am going to use its attribute path to find out all those directories which are looked by Python interpreter to search for any file, right? So you can see all these are the directories which Python looks for. Now in this entire directory structure we are going to locate site packages. This folder has to be located in the entire path. We are going to find out the location of this folder, site package folder. So we have seen this location, and then we are going into this site package folder. See, this is your site package folder, and see, this is the location. You can see over here the location that was there in the sys.path command. So we have located site packages folder. Now the next step is we have opened site packages folder and copied my entire demo folder inside site packages, right? Inside site package you can see I have copied the demo folder. Okay, next step. Now once you have added your library structure, library folder to site packages folder, your work is done. Now you will use the module of the library created by you in the same way as you use other libraries. Okay, so first of all what we have done, we have imported our module d1. So we have written import demo.d1. d1 is the name of the module and demo is the library under which this module is inserted, right? Now we have to run this function disp function under d1. So what we have written, demo.d1.disp, in the same way as you write math.sqrt. Math is your module and sqrt is the function. Before math we do not write because math is in module, you can say math module is available in the standard library. If it would have been in some other library, you would also have written the name of the library before math, right? Then we have, next time we have executed this function demo.d1.mul and passed two values. So what it did, it returned the product of the two numbers. We have also displayed the value of the constant. So again the same way. So in this slide you can see we have demonstrated, we have seen the use of functions in D1 module, right? But don't you think that writing such a long thing, demo.d1.mul, is a bit lengthy, right? So here is an alternative way. See, I have written demo.d2. Now I am trying to use D2 module under demo, but I have given D as an alias for demo.d2. So instead of writing demo.d2 everywhere, I am just going to write D. As you can see, d.display, right? D is the alias that is representing demo.d2. In the same way, d.add, d.b1. Is this clear? Next, I am going to use the module in the sub package. So what I have written, import demo.subdemo.d3. This is the module, this is the sub package, and this is the package. So I have written demo.subdemo.d3.abc. Same hierarchy. outermost library, subpackage, module, and then the function. In the same way, demo.subdemo.d3.div, right? But again, this is very lengthy. So what we are going to do? We are going to give an alias to it. Import demo.subdemo.d3 as d. And then we have written simply d.abc or d.div. So this one is easy. So in this way, we can create our own library and also use that library.